That highlight video produced, directed, and put together not only by you guys, but Tomas. That was awesome. Thank you. I would like to welcome you to our 13th annual Champions of Character NCU Athletic Awards ceremony. My name is Corey Anderson, and I will be your MC for tonight's event. This awards ceremony was established 12 years ago in order to honor you, our Northwest Christian student athletes, teams, coaches, and all of your accomplishments over this past academic year and for some of your careers. At this time, I would like to welcome senior cross-country track student athlete Emily Moon up to the podium to open up tonight's ceremony with a word of prayer.
Will you guys bow your heads with me? Dear Jesus, I just want to thank you so much for these past 4 years and just the opportunities that you've given each one of us student athletes while we've been here as Beacons. I pray that as the rest of this night goes on, that we it's so evident of how well you are glorified, God, and we just thank you so much, and we love you and we praise you. In your name, amen.
As an NAIA institution, we preach and do our best to practice the 5 core values of the NAIA's Champion of Character model: respect, integrity, responsibility, servant leadership, and sportsmanship. You are being honored here tonight because you embody these core values. From your athletic accomplishments to your academic achievements, you are all champions of character. I love watching people do things with passion. I know I talked about this last year. Whether it's in athletics, music, drama, runners, walkers from today's Eugene Marathon or half marathon, the passion that Kent puts in our grounds here on campus, whatever the craft is, I love to watch passionate people express their love for sport, activity, or performance. Sometimes this is in a game or a race. Sometimes it's in a one-on-none work in the gym or downstairs in the fitness center when nobody's watching. But I think all of us as coaches in the room, I think you as student athletes, whether we're in academics, when we have people in our presence that are doing things for the love of whether it's for the love of Jesus that they're honoring, it's their family, it's themselves, the combination of many, nothing is more glorifying to be with people when they are doing something with that passion, because it's inspiring. It's inspiring whether you're on the court, the course, or the field. It's inspiring in the classroom. It's inspiring in church. It's inspiring in the mission field. And I think that is such a beautiful thing for you as a student athlete, for us as coaches, as educators, as administrators, and for all of us as we go forward, whether it's we're moving from one stage to the other, we're graduating, we're going into the workforce, we're working, we've been somewhere and it's past our first year, or maybe it's our 15th year. Maybe it's, hey, I'm in a new relationship. Maybe I'm in a new relationship. Whatever that may be, do it with passion, okay? You never know who you will inspire. And sometimes you'll even inspire you. Okay, so do things to the glory that you can. This year for me and our athletic staff, this has been a season of new and a season of change. 7 new head coaches. 7 new head coaches. Trust me, that's a lot of work and a lot of time. That's been this year. 2 new athletic trainers in mid-year, and we've got 1 new team this year. Touch on that in a moment. Again, transition that all of you have felt as this season has moved on. With all of this change for me has come with a little bit of stress, but mostly excitement and a revived energy. It's a bit like watching your kids, like watching my kids, opening up their presents on Christmas morning. Wide eyes, mouths agape, tearing through the paper to reveal. What are they revealing? What are these NCU Christmas presents? A golf roster that just kept growing and growing and growing. A men's basketball team bringing in a great atmosphere into the Morse Event Center, along with on the road, come from behind wins, an exciting style of play that a lot of our student body was in here and being appreciative of. Watching both our men's and women's cross-country teams qualify for NAI Nationals. Our women's basketball team beating SOU for the first time in a long time. Watching Jess Gardner break yet another record on the softball diamond. Our men's soccer team, fastest goal in school history. And I mentioned this new team, esports. There was the constant, what is esports? Coming from our student body, some of our coaches, faculty. What is esports? Well, they quickly went from esports, what's that, to a team that finished second in the varsity league while beating the likes of UW, Utah State, Boise State, and our conference rival, Oregon Tech. So that is what esports is. We're here tonight to honor you guys as student athletes. We've got a lot of awards. I'm going to start this off. I'm bringing up our NCU head athletic trainer, Guillermo Torres Sanchez, presenting our Athletic Training Perseverance Award.
Good evening. Before I begin passing out the awards, I just want to say a quick thank you, first and foremost, to those who've provided me the opportunity to be in this position in the first place. Happy to be here, and I'm very thankful for just the time that I've had so far here, being back at NCU. Also wanted to say a quick thank you also to the student athletes for being welcoming and patient during this transition. I know it's probably not the easiest thing for you guys, but I thank you for just your attitude that you bring and just all your patience that you had with us. And lastly, I just want to say a quick thank you also to my assistant Jared, who, if it wasn't for him, I don't know, I feel like I would have my head chopped off right now because I just be all over the place. And so he's went far beyond just being an assistant, so thank him for that as well. So participating in NCU athletics is a huge privilege, and being a previous alumni and also being in the position I'm in right now, I know that as great as sports is at times, I know that it can also be unforgiving. And for many of you, each and every one of you have had some sort of challenge and trials they've had to face at some point and during your journey here. And for that, I commend each and every one of you. And when thinking of who should individuals who should be deserving of this award, of the Perseverance Award, there's two in particular who we felt had to go far and beyond because of their circumstances. And so for those reasons, we're going to recognize each of them. The first recipient of the Athletic Training Perseverance Award goes to a student athlete who is a female basketball player that I got to know pretty quickly right off the bat during my time here, which isn't always necessarily the best thing because that means you're not necessarily in the best shape. So as much as I love getting to know you, I know that's also not so great getting to know us so well either. But she was one of those athletes that couldn't seem to catch a break with various injuries and ailments. And what made her unique, though, is how persistent she was to do all that she could to stay on the court and in the game. Each and every day, she did all the little things to make herself better. And those little things, to me, is what separates from what can make the potential for a good athlete to become great. She battled with mental, emotional, and physical struggles that would knock most people down and keep them there. And instead, she played a key role in her team's success, served other communities, and excelled in the classroom. I'm honored to present the first Athletic Training Perseverance Award to Kailyn Bush. All right. The second award goes to a distance runner whose journey to recovery began long before I arrived here and will continue on after her departure. What made her special, though, is her tremendous work ethic that she had as she approached each day to better herself, and also her remarkable attitude despite the obstacles that she faced. I imagine that she must have had internal turmoils at times, but she hardly ever expressed them. When faced with a new challenge, she essentially would ask the questions, can you help me? What can I do on my own? And I'll pray about it. She understood that we as athletic trainers couldn't do everything for her, nor could she do it all on her own, and that prayer to the Almighty goes a long way. She went above and beyond in her spare time that no college athlete has to share the gospel in Kenya, and is without a doubt a light to those around her. And if that's not a beacon, then I don't know what is. All of this and so much more are the reasons that I'm presenting the second Athletic Training Perseverance Award to Anna Brooks.
Hey guys, I'm Nick Askew. If you don't know me, I'm the assistant athletic director for communications, and I'm here to present the Sports Information Legacy Award. But before I do that, I want to take a moment to honor someone who is also graduating, that started as an athlete but didn't finish out as an athlete, but has had as much impact on our department as anyone. Tomas, get up here. Sports Information Legacy Award is given each year to honor those athletes who leave a lasting mark on NCU athletics long after they've said goodbye. They play a huge part in their team's success during their careers on and off the court, field, with their record-breaking efforts. This year's recipient has truly done just that, leading her team on the field and in the classroom, and as a member of the NCU athletics game management team. Over the last 4 years, this lady has collected records for single games, single seasons, along with 8 NCU career records, putting her name at the top of the list more than any other player in softball history. She is the Beacon's all-time leader for games played and started, plate appearances, at-bats, put-outs, and she finished her career this weekend with 97 runs, 154 hits, and 80 stolen bases. She was a first-time All-CCC selection last season. She holds single-season records for games played, and as a junior, killed the single-season hits record and stolen bases records. She's an accounting major with a 3.9 GPA. She's a 3-time academic all-conference selection, 2-time NAI Daktronics Scholar Athlete, and a 2-time COSIDA Academic All-District Selection. Ladies and gentlemen, 2019 Legacy Award to Jessica Gardner.
All right, I'm not huge on speaking, but Nick asked me to speak, so I'm here to speak. I would like to thank Nick for updating me after every weekend on all of my stats, exactly where I was at and how many more hits I needed and how many more runs I needed to break all the records. I would like to thank my team and, of course, Coach Duro for all the support you guys gave me, and I hope that I made you guys proud.
as you see in your program on the back inside right, there's a page and it's dedicated to our Hall of Fame inductees that happened earlier today in this very facility. What was pretty awesome, and every year we have our Hall of Fame, it's an awesome experience because oftentimes those of us in the room that are putting it on, we don't know the people that we're honoring. They're, Hall of Fame. They're from, whether it's today, we had Jeanette Mccartney from 1976 when she was here, to Jim Newport, who graduated with us in '87, and then we also had 2 men's basketball teams that were national champions. Some of the banners up behind me from 1986 and '87. And what's awesome, again, not knowing these individuals or teams, is to hear their story. But when you hear their story, oftentimes I can replace what they went through as students, and it's stories that you're all going through right now. And so it's pretty awesome to know that there's individuals in this room that one day will be bestowed the honor of Hall of Fame at this university, not only because of your successes athletically, but also just who you have been and who you are as people. I think one of the stories today that was probably the most touching and the most meaningful was with Jeanette Mccartney, a volleyball player, again, that was with us back in 1976 as a player and then moved forward and was a coach for us. Our volleyball team had the opportunity to meet her this fall upon the announcement of her induction. She came in, met with the team after a practice, and then had a chance to watch a couple of their games. And I think the biggest impact for not only our girls, but also for me, this was from 1976. So this was the very beginning of Title IX. And so here was a young lady that was right here at NCU that as a student athlete was fighting the good fight. And fighting for women's rights, even though she wasn't really doing so intentionally. This whole Title IX thing, while it had a title, while it was something that was being talked about in government, it wasn't really being talked about here at NCU. It's just all of a sudden there came some athletic opportunities for women, and she just happened to be here as a student, and then she happened to stay here and continue to coach. But at the same time, as she was able to reflect back with our team and with us, she's then realizing, the things that she was having to go through as far as uniforms and equipment and travel and just equity issues, I don't think she really thought about it until all of a sudden we were inducting her into the Hall of Fame, and then it came true to light. And I just think it's pretty awesome, again, to have somebody like that we were able to honor, but at the same time, what we're honoring her for was because of her accomplishment then, but what she's being honored for laid the groundwork for so many of us as athletes here today. So I just want to have a time to put our hands together and to say thank you and great job to our Hall of Fame. At this time, I'm bringing up Associate Athletic Director Sarah Freeman.
It's always my favorite time when we get to present awards at the end of the year. Throughout the year, I meet with recruits and we talk about wanting to recognize them not only for their athletic achievements, but it's just as important to us, their academic achievements and their character achievements. So I love to get up here and talk about the academic achievements that we've had. And this year, like all of the years that we've had, we have a lot of academic achievements. So thank you for making my job easier and for making us look good. We've had over 80 Cascade Conference Scholar athletes, over 35 NAI scholars, and then as you'll see in a moment, we're inducting 10 student athletes into our Chi Alpha Sigma induction, which is the most that we've ever done in 1 year. So you will see your name if you are a academic all Cascade Conference. Please stand up. This means that you have a minimum of 3.2 GPA and are sophomore standing or higher. Please stay standing if you are a Daktronics NAI Scholar athlete. That means you have a minimum of a 3.5 GPA and are a junior in academic standing. You can see it. Thank you. You can stay stand if you like. It's a good achievement. Now I'm going to induct our Chi Alpha Sigma honorees. NCU joined Chi Alpha Sigma, the National Collegiate Athletic Honor Society, in 2012 as a means to highlight our highest academic achievers. Chi Alpha Sigma, to be eligible, you have to have three things. You've earned a letter from your sport. You have a 3.8 GPA or higher, which is the highest GPA of any of our honor societies at NCU. And you've been recognized by our chapter advisor, Nick Askew. This year, with our 10 inductees, I will call their names and bring them up. We will give them their pin and their certificate, which then on Thursday, we will also have them come back during honors convocation, and we'll give them their black and yellow cords that they will wear during commencement, some of you on the track when you graduate. I'm gonna read all 10 names. If you come up as your name is read, and then we will applaud after. So please hold your applaud until afterwards. Our first one, exercise science major with a 4.0 GPA, men's cross country and track, Connor Covey. Or keep an English major with a 3.95 GPA from men's cross country and track, Diego De La Plaine. A teacher education major with a 3.81 GPA from women's basketball, Cassidy Galindo. An accounting major with a 3.95 GPA, softball, Jess Gardner. A teacher education major with a 4.0 from women's soccer, Brittany Walking. A teacher education major with a 3.99 GPA from women's cross country and track, Brittany Jury, who cannot be here today. An English major with a 3.91 GPA from men's track and cross country, Micah Jury. A communication major with a 3.98 GPA from women's soccer, Gianna Rains. An exercise science major with a 3.81 GPA from women's cross country and track, Melissa Rios. And an English major with a 3.9 GPA who recently graduated from volleyball, Lori Salnis. It's now my honor to introduce our male and female Scholar Athletes of the Year. This year's male Scholar Athlete of the Year is a men's cross country and track runner, Connor Covey. Connor's had an incredible year on the course, on the track, and in the classroom. He is a 4.0 student in exercise science, and this fall he led the cross-country team to a top 25 national ranking and an at-large berth to the NAIA National Championships. This spring, Connor is NCU's lone male athlete so far to earn an automatic qualifier to the NAIA National Championships for track. He currently is ranked number 2 in the Cascade Collegiate Conference and number 7 in the NAIA for the steeplechase. We need to come over here. Only if you'd like to.
Thank you.
Our female scholar athlete this year is Brittany Walking. Brittany earns her second Scholar Athlete of the Year as she holds a 4.0 in teacher education. Brittany is a leader on the women's soccer team and earned second team All-CCC honors. Brittany is a 2-time CASIDA Academic All-American and an NAIA Scholar Athlete. Thank you for letting us congratulate Brittany Walking. Perfect. At this time, as we honor our champions of character, I would like to bring up Lucy Henderson, our enrollment advisor for adult degree and graduate programs, for our Male Champion of Character Award.
I was asked to present this award to someone that I've been able to watch from the sidelines, someone who I believe presents golden character in the classroom as a diligent student, outside of the classroom, on the field, with his team, to just be somebody who is always encouraging. He displays wonderful character with his fellow students and friends, and I have had the privilege of being able to see his light shine all the way to the other side of the world in Kenya. I would like to present this award to Caleb Miles.
All right, I don't got much to say, just a lot of thank yous, but first and foremost, just thank you to our great God. Through him, we can do all things. Just want to thank my teammates and my classmates to keep pushing me to be the best I can be. Want to thank my family and Katie for supporting me all along the way. And also the professors and faculty here to just be so supportive. It makes everything so much easier, and just being able to spread out that love to everyone else. Thank you, guys.
For our Female Champions of Character Award, I'd like to bring up special guest, Dean Joaquin.
Well, this is amazing, seeing all these amazing athletes and accomplishments. Well done. As someone who's been around the school program here the last several years, it's been amazing to see not only the athletic accomplishments, the academics, but just the true character that's shown here at the university. When I was asked to say a few words about this Champions of Character Award, I was really intrigued of what makes that up. Some comments earlier talked about it. The NIAI Champions of Character core values talked about respect, integrity, sportsmanship, responsibility, and servant leadership. Very evident in a lot of the people we've already been able to honor tonight. In addition, the NCU triathlete model focuses on Christ-centered with equal emphasis on character, academics, and athletic competition. Amazing. And these items, I'm always fascinated by a couple of those. Just want to highlight respect. It's very, we have that in our society. Sometimes it's displayed better than others. Respect is really that item to treat others as you would like to be treated yourself, often referred to as the golden rule. That's true for our friends, our family, our teammates, and our competitors, right, on that field. Treat everyone with respect. And the referees, too, right? That's a hard one sometimes. To do this, be respectful. You have to think before you act, be timely, be polite. Remember that your actions speak louder than your words. One other item I wanted to highlight is that characteristic of integrity, right? Very, very important one. Integrity is always doing the right thing. It's being honest, being fair, being true, even when no one else sees what's going on. So I just want to highlight a few of those, and we could go on and on and on, but very happy to be up here to present actually to two people that fill this Female Champion of Character Award for this year. The first one exemplifies all the core values of both the NIAA and the NCU triathlete model, as well as her leadership with her team, her work on campus as a tour guide, her work in mission service, and rural heart and joy. I'd like to congratulate Gianna Rains.
Would it be me if I didn't actually have something to say? I wrote things down so you don't have to hear me blabber, so that's good. Okay, so I just want to say how special, for those of you who don't know, this is Brittany's dad, and Brittany and I grew up playing soccer together, and I almost started crying. How special and what an honor it is that he was able to be here and present that. So thank you so much, Dean. But I just want to say thank you to friends and family, of course, especially to nurse me back to health after the Montana trips. And of course, my team and my coaches, I love you guys. Thank you so much for making these 4 years the best. And thank you to NCU and the athletics department and all you guys who are working so hard to make athletics enjoyable for us. I appreciate that so much. And of course, thank you to God for blessing me with the health and the opportunity to play collegiate soccer. I can't thank him enough for that. That's an amazing, amazing opportunity. My little bit of encouragement to you, wherever you are in your athletic journey, just something that I've kept in my heart for these past 4 years and just really remembered and figured out that it's very true. So you are so much more than your sport. You are so much more than your skills. You are so much more than the time you get on the field or the court or wherever it is. Not to say that hard work and dedication isn't important, but at the end of the day, your sport is just a sport. Enjoy the process, enjoy the people around you, make those relationships, be intentional, love those people, and know that your sole identity is in Jesus Christ. And that's the most important thing we could be through glorifying him through these sports. So thank you so much.
All right. We were at church this morning, and the pastor at the service we were at was talking about being joyful and being passionate. I always think about Gianna, always joyful all the time. So thank you for sharing that with us even more tonight. The second person, my guess who this may be, I feel very privileged to be here the last 4 years cheering on the different sports events. We've been to a lot of soccer events with the women's soccer team, but also to see some of the other events. It's been phenomenal. The second person definitely exemplifies all the core values of both the NIAI and the NCU triathlete model as well. Her heart, her strength, and presence on the soccer field, on the missions field, and in the classroom as a teacher has been very, very evident. Been the privilege of going on some missions trips. I went one with several of you down in Nicaragua a few years ago. She's also been to Puerto Rico, Kenya recently. But just the character that comes out on the field, off the field, very evident. So thank you to all of you. But the second winner of the Female Champion of Character Award, my daughter, Brittany Walking.
Okay, well, I wasn't expecting that. I was laughing because I was giving him a hard time as we were coming, going, "Dad, it's not that fancy. You don't need to wear a suit jacket." And he was like, "No, trust me." But you'll be proud of me for this. But I'll make this quick, but there's 3 things my dad always says that you should say every day is thank you, good job, and I love you. So I'm going to do my 3 here. So first of all, big thank you to the athletics department, Corey, Sarah, and Nick especially. Shout out to Corey. 4 years ago, he actually was the one that helped me get here and get my letter signed and all of that as the soccer team was in between coaches. And just thank you to you three especially for all that you do for us athletes and keep getting all those updates and making us look good, Nick. And also thank you to my teammates, my coaches. Thanks for cheering me on, and thanks for all that, all the memories, and just all the things too off the field, your support and your love towards me, and just especially from my coaches, I've learned a ton of just having grit and having perseverance through hard times, through those ups and downs, and really sticking through. I think Gianna said it perfectly with it's more than just a sport, and there's more to life than that, but at the same time, we get to enjoy a lot of things through sports. So thank you to you all. And then for my good job, I want to congratulate and say well done to all of the people who've been honored here tonight, as well as all you seniors. A couple more weeks so you can hang in there. And it's not easy to balance sports with school, especially those of you with multiple sports going on out there. So congratulations and well done. And then lastly, to my parents who are both here, I love you both and just thank you. This is especially an honor and definitely took me by surprise. So thank you for all the support you've given me and been able to be at so many events and so many games and cheering me on. So thank you.
At this time, I have the privilege of announcing our Athlete of the Year awards. I will start off with our Male Athlete of the Year. This person was a first-team All-CC selection. He was an NAIA All-American Honorable Mention. He led NCU and was second in the conference in scoring with 20.3 points per game average. He led the conference and was fourth in the NAIA in steals, averaging 2.6 a game. He was a Conference Player of the Week honoree back in January. He finished 12th on the NCU all-time scoring list and passed over the 1,000 point mark this season. He was also recently selected to play and was our first player in the history of NCU men's basketball to play in the national NAIA All-Star game that was just recently back in Kansas City, Missouri. I think the biggest thing, Austin, start walking up here. Austin Tyner. I think the biggest thing for me is I've known Austin a long time. I watched him back in high school and obviously first 4 years here, was to watch him mature this year as a leader with this team as a senior. A lot of times it's easy to just kind of keep doing what you're doing. And all of a sudden, sometimes we get to that senior year, and unfortunately, sometimes it waits until you're a senior. And I want to tell you all, leadership can be when you're a freshman, a sophomore, or a junior. Don't have to wait till you're a senior. Austin waited until he was a senior, which was fine. But to watch him mature and to watch him be a leader, not only in work ethic, in words, in actions, was truly an honor to watch that. Because I've always known Austin had talent. But again, to watch leadership qualities arise along with, again, inspiring teammates to move forward and do the right thing was pretty awesome. So your Male Athlete of the Year, Austin Tyner. Congratulations. I'm pointing at you. I've seen what's like on social media. Microphone?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
So I just want to give out a few thanks real quick. First thanks goes out to God, first and foremost. Then I want to thank my beautiful family sitting right here, and my dad in the back. And I want to thank my coaches throughout the 4 years. I know I can be a hassle to put up with. I want to thank my teammates, even though I see like 2 of them out there. It's all right. And last but, 3, 4, 5 back there. And then lastly, I want to thank the faculty and staff for just putting up with me, and just thank you very much.
Our female athlete of the year, which we have 2. This first person finished 4th at conference with then a PR of 18 minutes and 1 second to earn an All-CC honor, which was her second in cross country. Finished 2nd overall at the NAI Championships with a new PR, breaking 18 minutes for the first time at 17 minutes, 59.8 seconds. Earned All-American honors with that finish. She was a 2-time CCC Player of the Week during the cross-country season. She was currently track conference and NAI qualifier in the 3,000 steeplechase, and currently she's ranked 6th in the conference and 10th nationally in the NAI in the steeplechase. Casper now, come on up. A quality that I have seen in Cass, whether it's been out on the course, whether it's been in Hutchins Hall with team and meetings, or it's been in conversation with me, is just your advocacy for your team, your advocacy for your sport, your advocacy for yourself. And I've always appreciated conversation with you and always knowing that we're moving things forward together. So I thank you for that. So Female Athlete of the Year, Cass Brunell. And then a second Female Athlete of the Year. And this person was a first team all conference and first team All-American. This will give it away in volleyball. She broke the NCU single season block record with 93. She broke the NCU and Cascade Conference record for hitting percentage, hitting .423 on the season, which ranked 4th nationally. She set the NCU single game kill record for 3-set games with 21 against West Coast Baptist. And then the previous night, had 18 kills against New Hope. Set new NCU career record for hitting percentage. She ranks 4th all time for blocks, despite playing just 2 seasons. And hey, when you're that good, why not do another sport? So in track, after earning all CC honors in high jump last season, she's also qualified for the CCC championships this year as a high jumper. So will Megan Van Martyr please come to the stand?
Okay. I seem to have the only written speech here, so hopefully it won't be too long. All right. I've been playing sports for as long as I can remember. I started athletics when I was 5, playing summer soccer. My love for the sport grew, and just summer soccer became fall and spring and club. This lasted 11 years when I had to make a choice between club soccer or high school volleyball, so I chose the latter. I participated in middle school volleyball, basketball, track, then summer soccer. I also found time to dance for 3 years, somehow. When I moved on to high school, the schedule didn't lighten. I was heavily involved in my high school teams, playing all 4 years of basketball and volleyball, 2 years of track and field, all while juggling club volleyball practices and tournaments. When I graduated and signed my letter of intent to play volleyball at Highline Community College, I was almost relieved to just be playing one sport, despite how bad my dad wanted me to play basketball. but I grew to miss being a part of the various sports teams and the relationships I would build with my fellow athletes. When I transferred and signed my letter to play volleyball and run track and field here at NCU, it was by far the best decision I have ever made. I remember my dad asking me after my campus visit what I had thought, and I told him that the feeling I had about NCU was drastically different from any other university that I had visited. He then told me that they would do whatever to make this work for me, and after that, everything started to fall into place, and I knew I was where I needed to be. Here at NCU, I have gotten the opportunity to participate in 2 sports that I love. I have built relationships that will last a lifetime. I met my boyfriend, and I got to room with my best friend of now 8 years. A lot of you in here can probably relate with me. Athletics are a part of who I am and who you are. Looking back now, I see how I could really have not done any of it without the help of some very important people in my life. So first of all, I would like to thank this community here at NCU. The relationships that I have built here have been some of the most influential in not only my athletics, but also my growth as a daughter of Christ. I was shown that a sports team is so much more than a group of girls getting together to play a game that they love. It's more about family, love, and trust. And the love that I have for my volleyball girls and my track team is unmatchable, and I'm so grateful for the friendships that I have made. I would like to thank all of my past and present coaches. Learning from them has grown both my athletic ability and character, and without their guidance, I would not be the athlete I am today. I would also like to thank everyone who brought me to NCU and has supported me during my athletic ventures. Kelly Petrie, Jason Corwin, George Walcott, Sarah Freeman, Corey Anderson, Nick Askew, my parents, my incredible best friend and roommate, Anna Brooks, and everyone else who has had a hand in showing me that this is where I'm supposed to finish out my collegiate career. I also need to thank God for allowing everything to fall into place and putting these people in my life to guide me here. He truly knew where I would end up even before the thought even crossed my mind. Lastly, and most importantly, I would like to thank my parents. They made everything happen. The countless nights, early mornings, weekend trips to tournaments, track meets, volleyball and basketball games, literally years of sitting through what seemed like an eternity of sporting events, always cheering, teaching, and supporting. The time and money that my mom and dad have put into making me the athlete I am today is something that I will never take for granted. And it's something that continually pushes me to be better than I was the season before. Making them proud always seems to be a driving force for my improvement because I know how much they've invested in me. My parents continually try to find a balance between being my coach and my parent. Sorry. This comes a little easier to my mom, as her instinct is to encourage and be my biggest cheerleader, which I am beyond grateful for. She would wake up at 5 a.m. with me to travel to my volleyball tournaments and drive through nights to get me back, supporting me the entire way. My dad, a natural coach, saw exactly how I could be the best version of myself. His version of encouragement may look different, and I sometimes don't want to hear what I can improve. But ultimately, I see that he really wants the best for me, and that kind of love is immeasurable. Overall, I'm eternally grateful to God for blessing my life in so many ways. I encourage you to take time today to thank someone who has influenced you in your growth, whether in athletics or your growth as an individual. What I realize as an athlete is that the people you meet, the time invested, the friends, and the family members, the coaches and mentors, and the gifts that God has blessed you with should never be taken for granted. Thank you.
Okay, my speech is not that good or prepared, so I wanted to say thank you to all my teammates. You guys have helped me grow so much these last 4 years, and I definitely wouldn't be the person I am today. Both girls and boys team, I've learned a lot from you guys, and I've met like my lifelong friends and my future husband, so you guys all mean a lot to me. I want to thank my coaches. You guys have not only made me a better athlete, but a better person, and I don't know where I'd be without you guys. And I want to thank my parents for giving me all the opportunities that you guys have and bringing me where I am today. So thank you guys.
That was amazing. Thank you. I have for you tonight a story and a person So if you'll hang in there with me for about 2 minutes, it will all make sense. 14 years ago, we had just undergone the process of deciding whether or not we should be an NAIA school, an NCAA Division III school, and if we should grow our athletic program. At the time, NCU had about 65 student athletes, and we knew that we were ready to grow, and this might be the way that we wanted to do it. So we were approved, and through a lot of paperwork and all sorts of fun stuff, we became members of the NAIA and the Cascade Collegiate Conference and were welcomed in. And I still remember coming back from a conference when that had just happened thinking, oh, shoot, now we really are going to do this thing. And really quickly, in about a 4-month period of time, we went about the process of adding 4 sports and then 3 more sports and then another 2 sports since then. So we immediately began to look around campus for people to help us hire. Who are these new soccer coaches going to be? Who's our new volleyball coach going to be? Who's going to lead our men's and women's cross-country program? So we looked out amongst the faculty and the staff and we said, who would be willing to join us on a selection committee? And quickly, I met this passionate professor who had just recently launched her own new academic program at NCU that was growing like crazy. Some of you know her. Her name is Dr. Micah McNeil. So Heike was willing, Heike loves committees more than anything. Actually, that's not what she loves to do, but she was willing to do this for us. So she sat on selection committee after selection committee with us, and it was tough. I mean, it was a tough, and people, you know, because even then, we were like, yeah, we're really going to do this thing, and we're really going to make it happen. So very clearly remember doing sometimes just what you do during times of administration. You lock yourself behind a closed door after someone else leaves and you go, well, that was fine, but, and we had this moment where I very clearly remember walking across the hallway to Corey Anderson's office, and right after we had finished interviewing all of our candidates for our cross-country positions, and honestly having this conversation, I don't know why we'd hire any of them. I mean, our professor of exercise science is better than every single one of those candidates we just interviewed. Do you think she would be stupid enough to actually do this if we offered it to her? And I mean that in the most true term of endearment. And this is a focused exercise science professor who loved her weekends. She was still competing on her own on different levels. So we asked Heike if she would serve as our first men's and women's cross-country coach. And she said yes. And the rest is history. So let me tell you just a little bit about that history. During Coach McNeil's time as our head coach, she led her teams to 9 NAIA track and cross-country national appearances, Cascade Collegiate Conference championships back to back to back in 2014, 15, and 16. Also of note, 2014 was NCU's first Cascade Collegiate Conference championship in any sport. 3 individual CCC cross-country champions, 8 individual conference track and field champions, 62 all-conference student athletes, 31 All-Americans, 72 NAIA scholar athletes. She's a 3-time Cascade Collegiate Conference Coach of the Year, and she was the 2015 NAIA National Coach of the Year. And as many of you know, Coach McNeil decided this past fall, after telling us one more year, Heike, she finally said that's enough. And she decided that this last fall was going to be her last season as a head coach in order to focus more on her work in the classroom, which was why she originally came to NCU. Now, this is the time in the program, for those of you who've done this for a while, that knows that we give out the Beacon Cup. The Beacon Cup is very important. I think it's actually symbolic of one of our greatest awards because it wraps up everything. And as much as we're about individuals at NCU, we always are team first, right? That's who we are. So this award is a big, big deal. It's about, with Christ at our center, then emulating the triathlete model that focuses on our 3 key areas: athletic success, academic success, and community outreach and service. The program that best achieves the aforementioned annually is recognized by being the recipient of the Beacon Cup, which is that really cool, I'm sure it's like true gold cup behind me. Well, in the NAIA era, we've had one specific coach who has led her teams to win this award 9 of the past 13 years, this coach is Micah McNeil. So it's only fitting tonight and moving forward that we do something very special to honor someone very, very special to us. In honor of our beloved coach, professor, and colleague, we are renaming the Beacon Cup the Dr. Micah McNeil Cup. And what I would like to do at this time is call Micah forward so that we can appropriately recognize her.
Thank you, guys. Obviously, I'm totally prepared. I literally just walked off the Eugene Marathon course, so therefore my attire, I didn't run the marathon, just cheered. 13 years. I remember that day when you guys asked me to do this, and I was like, really? I haven't ever even coached high school, and you guys are asking me to lead a college team, and I don't think I've ever been more nervous in my life than I was in the first seasons. But I can honestly look back at those years and say that was one of the most rewarding things I've ever done in my entire life. And not in the least just because of all of you that were a part of that, like the entire department, NCU, the teams, the athletes. It was an absolutely amazing experience. It was with a bleeding heart that I stepped away from that. I will always cherish those years and will never forget all the things I learned from everyone that worked with me, from the athletic department, everybody that just always poured 100% into what they were doing. And from my athletes, I still, to this day, as I go through my life, think about things that some of my athletes have done and taught me. And I just feel so blessed to have walked alongside of you guys for that part of my life. And I'm incredibly grateful and very thankful that you guys decided to give me that opportunity. So thank you all.
And now to present this year's Team of the Year, the recipients of the Dr. Micah McNeil Cup, I would like to call forward our campus pastor, Troy Dean, to present this year's award.
It's a great privilege to come up here and to hand out this award, but man, you guys are killing me on the emotions. I'm just like on edge the entire time. Megan, profound, so eloquent, and so encouraging, and what an apt thing to do to change the name of the Beacon Cup to Dr. Micah McNeil Cup. NCU, as an educational and faith-based institution, has for its history engaged in local and overseas mission trips. They serve as a way for us to extend compassion, to offer tangible help, and to build communities. Our teams have served in places that often struggle for support and resources, in cities like San Francisco and Houston, across borders and over oceans, in places like Mexico, Cambodia, Nicaragua, Kenya, and Puerto Rico. We serve people who are often overlooked and neglected, those devastated by hurricanes, living in poverty, or victims of sex trafficking. While the intention of these teams is to go and help others, anyone who has served on a missions team has learned the profound secret that God uses these experiences to deeply shape those who serve and not just help those who have needs, helping us to detox from our world of self-focus, strengthen our heart to help others, and deepen our faith in ways that we would never have seen if we had stayed comfortable and close to home. Student athletes, you all inhabit a unique place in our culture. Athletes are often looked to as leaders and role models and often celebrities. Globally, it's the same. Children and youth look up to students, and in particular, student athletes, as role models and leaders. And you have a unique opportunity, and may I even say responsibility, to make an impact. While many see this as a moment to forward their own name, prestige, or brand, our student athletes instead swim against the current of self-promotion and choose to serve others for no other reason than as their faith and their heart is to help others in need, and as a beacon to shine the light of Christ's love. This year, the team award, the Dr. Micah McNeil Cup Award, is awarded to those student athletes who have served and are serving on this year's mission teams. The team that will receive this year's Mission Cup, this year's Beacon Cup, is our NCU athletic mission teams. So when I call your name, would you please make your way to the stage? Danny Baker with women's basketball. Anna Brooks, women's cross country and track. Dan Carrier, men's cross country and track. Ari Fusilier, women's basketball. Daniel Gerlach, esports. Brittany Walking, women's soccer. Caleb Miles, men's soccer. That's the Kenya team. Had served in Puerto Rico, Kailyn Bush, women's basketball. Simon Estefanos, men's soccer. Alyssa Kuski in women's basketball. Kara Matheson, women's soccer. Annika Rasubala, women's cross country and track. Eric Carrasco, men's soccer coach. Aaron Chestnut, men's soccer coach. Sarah Freeman, associate athletic director. Our Mexico student athletes. Thomas Carradero, come on up here. Sports information and marketing intern. Anna Cardwell with softball. Katie Hastings, women's soccer. Peyton Poehler with women's softball. And Gianna Rains, women's soccer. Get everyone on up here. Excellent. All right, would you please join me in congratulating this year's NCU student athletes who participated and are participating in our men's missions teams around the world. This year's recipient of the Dr. Micah McNeil Cup and the NCU Team of the Year. Congratulations.
I should probably be in No, we are. Oops.
Okay. Nick, you want to grab that side of it? Ready?
Make it work. Does that work? There we go. We started a new tradition a few years ago, honoring all of our seniors all together at this event to close out this event. We're adding a new wrinkle to that this year, which we're really excited about. A lot of our teams that don't have games on campus, such as our cross-country team, our golf team, we try to do a senior night for them at halftime of an event in the fall, usually a basketball game. Well, the track season doesn't even start really till basketball is winding down, so we don't have a great opportunity to do our track senior night. So this time, if I can have head cross-country and distance coach and director of track Tom Bolden, associate head coach George Walcott, assistant coach Paula Berry, and former coach Dr. Micah McNeil join me on stage. So we will start with our ladies. And the first lady, when I call your name, please come on up. The first lady we will honor tonight is Maya Harder. Who's not here? Oh, she is here. After redshirting as a freshman, Maya has competed with the Beacons for 3 seasons. She holds 2 NCU records in the discus set in 2017 and the shot put, which she broke this year. Maya qualified for conference all 3 seasons. In 2018, she earned all CCC honors with her 3rd place finish in the discus. This year, she ranks 3rd in the conference in the shot put and 7th in the discus. Maya Harder. Next, we honor Miranda Johnson. Miranda has been competing with the Beacons for 4 years and has been a conference qualifier in each of the past 2 seasons. This year, she's once again qualified for conference in the 400-meter hurdles. Miranda Johnson. And now for the gentlemen, first we honor Michael Andrews. Michael has built quite the resume for the Beacons as the first pole vaulter in school history. He's continued to improve his school record each year and currently owns the record at 4.51 meters, which he set just 2 days ago at the Oregon State High Performance Meet. Michael's a 4-time qualifier for conference, and this year he is ranked 6th in the conference in the pole vault. Michael Andrews. Next, we honor Antonio Campos Perez. Antonio established himself as NCU's first conference qualifying sprinter as a freshman and has continued to build his resume, owning 9 of the top 10 times between the 100 and 200 meter sprints. Campos has been a member of the NCU 4x1 relay team, which earned all conference honors in his sophomore and junior seasons. He currently ranks 5th in the CCC in both the 100 and 200, and the 4x1 relay team currently ranks 2nd. Antonio. Next up, Harley Gilpin. Harley's competed with the Beacons for 4 years. He's been a CCC qualifier in 2 of them. After beginning his career as a hurdler, Gilpin has added the 200, 400, and 800 events to his repertoire this year. Harley. And finally, Micah Jury. Micah has also been with the Beaks for 4 years. He is NCU's career record holder in both the 110 meter and 400 meter hurdles. He has qualified for conference in all 4 seasons in both those events. This season, he ranks 7th in the CCC in the 400 meter hurdles. Micah Jury. Seriously, what would we do without Tomas, guys? Stay up here. Since they're already up here, we're going to begin our senior ceremony with them. So Sarah's going to pass them down the line. I think they're in the same order. So Maya Harder, Miranda Johnson, Michael Andrews, Antonio Campos Perez, Harley Gilpin, and Micah Jury. It's going to get pretty crowded up here as you guys come up, so we're just going to do our best to get up here, and we'll try to You'll get it done. We'll do it after? All right, we'll do it in front of the blue bleachers over there right after, okay? All right. So as I call your name, please come forward. Alex Abalon, men's soccer. Jaime Aguayo, men's soccer. Connor Barrigo, women's basketball. Anna Brooks, women's cross country and track. Cass Brownell, women's cross country and track. Kailyn Bush, women's basketball. Dan Carrier, men's cross country and track. Jenna Christensen, women's basketball. Devontae Cleveland, men's basketball. Connor Covey, men's cross country and track. Canyon Dwyer, men's basketball. Tyler Farmer, men's soccer. Jesse Figueroa, men's soccer. Ty Fleming, men's soccer. Cassidy Galindo, women's basketball. Jess Gardner, softball. Josh Goings, men's golf. Tito Gomez, men's soccer. Libby Gregory, women's soccer. I didn't plan that. Ian Hernandez, men's soccer. Victor Irichukwu, men's soccer. Brittany Walking, women's soccer. Maddie Jones, softball. Bree Jury, women's cross country and track. Haley Miley, volleyball. Emily Moon, women's cross country and track. Thomas Pearson, men's basketball. Gianna Rains, women's soccer. Melissa Rios, women's cross country and track. Reese Robinson, men's basketball. Lori Solness, volleyball. Jack Stan Singleton, men's golf. Austin Tyner, men's basketball. Ellie Verschingle, volleyball. I didn't forget you, I just didn't have you on the list. Levi Dean, men's golf. I skipped a couple. Diego De La Plane, men's cross country and track. Sarah, did I miss any more? I don't think so. All right, let's hear it once again for your seniors. Why don't you guys all head that way? Okay. Yeah. You guys head that way and we'll close and then do the senior shot. Are we going to go down there? Okay, so everyone head down those stairs. We're going to go against the blue wall.
while our seniors are over here getting their picture taken, I just want to stand up and go ahead and say thank you for coming. This concludes our program. I also want to thank, obviously, and really I'm talking to our seniors. We know whether it's 4 years ago, 3 years ago, 2 years ago, it could be 1 year. We know there's options out there, and we just want to say thank you at the bottom of our heart for having an experience at NCU. A lot of these student athletes, a lot of student athletes here, there's options again. And for you to be able to be with us and allow us to walk this journey with you, we are blessed. So thank you all. Have a great night. There's still plenty of snacks. Hang and mingle all you want. Again, thank you so much for your attendance tonight. Nick's telling me there's a photo booth over there. That's super fun. So do that too. All right. Thank you very much, and go Beacons.